Mr President, my question without notice is to the Minister for Roads, Maritime and Freight in his capacity as Leader of the Government in this place and also representing the Minister for Transport and the Premier. Minister, given that you have repeatedly and as recently as the 26th of August this year described your federal colleagues as, and I quote, a grown-up government, unquote, do you stand by those remarks, and what steps have you taken to ensure the new federal government will now provide funds for the vital Badgerys Creek rail link in Western Sydney?
Look, I thank the honourable member for his question, and frankly I think it's a very good question. And the first thing that he will notice is today I'm wearing a blue tie, very much like Tony Abbott wears. Now, not very often you will see me wearing a blue tie because I mostly find them a tad too over the top. I prefer a green tie for a National Party tie, and I won't ever be wearing one of these ties again. But today it is fitting because I think we need to recognise the work that Tony Abbott did as Prime Minister. He really... What was that? Do you want to be quoted? No, I thought not. I thought not, Mr. President. This was a man with great integrity that set out to do a job and did a good job. There has been a change, and we embrace the change, and we will work with the change. Mr. President, the inference in part in the question was that we hadn't been asking and hadn't been expecting a result on rail on Badgerys Creek in the past. Well, the answer to that inference is just wrong, Mr. President, because we have been working, we have been pushing, as the honourable member I'm sure is aware, but it wasn't contained in the inference in his question, to make sure that there are proper rail connections to Badgerys Creek along with the road connections. Frankly, it is just essential, and the Transport Minister and myself have been working with our federal colleagues, and certainly we don't know who's going to be the Transport Minister, but I'm assuming that there almost certainly won't be a change there, but you never know till these things come out, and we've been putting a lot of effort into getting Warren Truss across the line on this issue and his department, and we had been working with Tony Abbott. Of course, we will be working with Malcolm Turnbull in the same area. Sorry? They're nationals. It operates a bit differently. Mr. President, Mr. President, yeah, Mr. President. I think I should be congratulated today for resisting all the temptations thrown across the table at me to lead me astray. Mr. President, we will continue to work with the federal government to make sure that the funding is there, not only for the roads, which we thank them for, it has been terrific, as has their funding. Now we can't forget the role of Tony Abbott and Warren Truss in securing that 80-20 funding for the Pacific Highway. Each year, there are 27 people die on that road when it's not duplicated, and that early duplication has been saving lives. So Warren Truss and Tony Abbott have done well there, but we will certainly be beating a path to the door of the new Prime Minister, as we did with the old one over rail.